Good evening and welcome to Holistic Health with Paul Garwood. It is a pleasure to come to you again this week with some valuable information concerning holistic living and how it can transform your life. It's been a very good week. I hope everyone out there has had a very good week. So sit back, relax, and get ready to hear some good information. What I'm going to talk about tonight is very, very beneficial. What I'm going to talk about tonight is taking your life back from worry. I'm going to repeat that, my friends. Taking your life back from worry. You see, nothing is more important than living today. Not thinking about what happened yesterday, and not thinking about what's going to happen in the future. Because when we excessively worry, and I think everybody that has walked this planet has went through life or some things in life where worry just took over. Why worry? There's a saying out there. If you pray, why worry? I think you know about that one. And if you worry, why pray? You see, excessive worrying can affect your life in many ways. And as your thoughts continue to race, you find yourself always on a constant state of alert. You can't relax. This is one of the reasons why people go through so many different stress-related problems, because they're never able to relax. See, this is what worry does. It keeps you tense. Many people make worry a normal part of their life. And this is where it becomes excessive. Worrying about things should never become a normal part of your life. You have to live life in a way where you let things go. You can't worry about mistakes. You can't worry about dying. You can't worry about how many friends I have. You can't worry about, am I going to ever get married? You can't worry about how my bills are going to get paid. You give it thought, because that's life. You have to give it thought. You have to give it serious thought. But when you excessively worry about these things, it can have adverse effects on your health. I know I've had situations before in my life. I'm going to use bill paying for an example, where I did not know what and how I was going to pay that bill. I thought that this was it. Kept me up at night, sleepless nights. But today, I couldn't even tell you what that bill was. I'm going to give you a word, and the word is called rumination. It's rumination. And this term, rumination, it means where you constantly are cycling negative thinking in your head. Sometimes this is confused with worrying. But when you ruminate, you worry not only about problems, but you worry about your feelings, and you worry about the things that you worried about. It's just this constant flow of worry where there's no way to stop this cycle, and that person can't even develop coping skills when it comes to worrying about things. Now, this is something that you have to avoid. See, what I'm telling you, what I'm bringing to you right now, is some of the disorders that worrying will push you into. I'm talking about some of the disorders that a person that worries all the time will develop. The first one was rumination. The second one is pretty familiar to people, and this is OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. This is when people have repeated and unwanted ideas, feelings, thoughts, behaviors, obsessions, and they are and these things just drive them. Their thoughts are always racing. They have racing thoughts, and no matter if they try to stop them, they can't. Actually, the more they try to stop them, the stronger these thoughts become. These worries, these compulsions, these obsessions, they interfere constantly with a person's daily life. This disorder is something that needs to be avoided. This disorder is, people can be driven into this not just because of medical issues or some form of drug use, but they can be driven into this disorder from excessive worry. Now that is something to really think about, where you can just constantly worry about things on a daily basis to the point that worry becomes a compulsive behavior within your personality. Worry so much that it will become a compulsive disorder within your personality. That alone is a reason to stop worrying about everything. The third one is generalized anxiety disorder. This is a little different from worry because this is when a person constantly lives in a state of fear. Reasonable fears, unreasonable fears. And the more they try to stop fearing things, the more prominent these fears become. And we all know that if we are fearful of things, we're going to worry about them. Generalized anxiety disorder. Fight or flight. Now this type of disorder, this type of worry, continued stress, continued worry, will have long-term effects on the body. And what it does, it leads to depression, and it leads to excessive and increased anxiety. People suffer permanent damage where they just live in a constant state of fear to the point where they're almost paralyzed. It leads to them having panic attacks where they hyperventilate and they have trouble breathing. They become dizzy. The chest becomes tight. Everything just seems overwhelming. Again, it leads to depression, minor depression, major depression, manic type depressions. It takes a toll on your emotional health when you just worry over a long period of time. you lose your ability to relax. It can cause you to lose your ability to make decisions. And it can even cause you to lose your ability to have conversations with other people. You start to alienate yourself. This excessive worry will lead to decreases in energy where you don't have an appetite to do things. It's so many things that you used to do, that you love to do, that you like to do, you will stop doing. This is a very serious illness. And from a holistic standpoint, I love to talk about this because, as we know, the holistic approach to worry and depression and stress and anxiety and these many different disorders is to try to heal the mind, the body, and the soul. Find out the reasons for slipping into this worry, or come with different strategies and different mechanisms and different things you can do on a daily basis, which I will talk about, that will alleviate some of this worry, which in turn will alleviate this stress, will alleviate this anxiety, which then stops you from slipping into a state of depression. It is very important that we take hold and take accountability and admit that worry is a problem, because unless we come to a conclusion that worry is negative energy and it will zap you of positive energy, it will zap you of the energy that you have, then you're going to always have a problem. You see, to understand not to worry means we have to stop being concerned about every little mistake that we do, every little thing that goes wrong in our life. We have to realize and look back and use examples, like I said earlier, of how I used to worry about things. But we have to consider the times in our past when we spent a lot of time worrying. I'm going to ask you some questions. Have the things you worried about always happened? You probably can't even think or remember what you was worried about, like I said earlier, about staying up all night worrying about paying a bill. Now I want you to think about all the time and energy you put into worrying. I know I did. I want you to ask yourself, what do you wish that you would have done with your time and energy instead of worry? When you worry, it leads to doing negative things. But I guarantee you could have done something positive. You could have done something that made you happy. You could have learned something new. You could have read a book. You could have done some things that was positive and brought positive manifestation into your life. Worry is negative. And if you worry all the time, it's going to bring negative manifestation into your life. And I just described an abundance of many different things that excessive worry can do. And they were all negative. Don't you agree, my friends? Out here, they were all negative. So I want you to look back at your life. I want to look at your life now, and I want you to think about your life in the future. And I want you to ask yourself, do you want to look back at all the time you spent worrying about things out of your control? Or do you want to look back, live in the future and take comfort in living each day to the fullest, knowing that your energy was not spent on negative worry, but was spent on the many different blessings that is around you? I'm going to repeat that. Do you want to look back in your life, live your life, or live your life in the future and take comfort in living each day to the fullest, knowing that your energy went to the many different blessings that's around you? Even when you're having problems, even when there's things that you have to give thought to, I guarantee if you took your focus or changed your focus off of that worry, you will find things, positive things, that were blessings. Yes, that were blessings. See, that's life. Balance and harmony. Even when things go bad, you can still balance your life and live in harmony. When you balance your life and you live in harmony, it's less stressful anyway. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. When we are at peace with ourselves, we can be at peace with others. Are you at peace with yourself if you're worrying about everything? Are you at peace with yourself if you are stressing about everything? Are you at peace with yourself if you're walking around in a depressed state? No, you're not. You're at peace with yourself when you have balance and you have harmony in your life. And this takes not excessively worrying about everything. My suggestion to you, and it's something that I do for myself, is prayer and meditation. We know the power of prayer, how you need to pray and listen. But I also learned how important meditation was, and how breathing meditations, which are very simple and they can be done any and everywhere, but it allows you to relax. It allows you to concentrate. It allows you to mind dump. It allows you to focus. See, your mind is always busy. Your mind is always thinking about something. Your mind will have you worried about something every single day if you let it. So you have to bring your mind back from that worry and bring it back to something positive. And this is where meditation comes in. And the breathing aspect is critical. Very critical, because as you take those deep breaths in and then you release those breaths out, you are releasing out that stress. You are releasing out that worry. You are releasing out that negativity. What you're doing, you're clearing your mind and you're taking control back. You're taking your own mind back. Remember, when you meditate, you are clearing your mind. You are taking your mind back. And this can be done any and everywhere. All you need is 5, 10, 15 minutes. some quiet time. You close your eyes. You learn to breathe. You breathe in. You release out. You breathe in. You release out. You refocus your mind. You clear your thoughts. You clear your mind. You get your mind off of those negative things. You get your mind off of that worry. And you create balance and harmony. And this will lead you to creating harmonious relationships with others, with like-minded other people, because you will have more time to think about the different things that you want to do, the different things, the people you want to be around, and you will start to surround yourself with people who think like you. You will start to surround yourself with people who make you feel good. You see, you're focused on positive things now. You're not focused on worry. And you will generate positive energy. And then you will have an abundance of energy. You will learn from them and they will learn from you. So I'm going to give you, in closing tonight, going to give you 3 steps to becoming worry-free. The first one I want you to do is I want you to analyze what you've been worrying about in your life. I want you to sit down and think about exactly what you are worrying about. Then I want you to step back and take a realistic look at what you are worrying about without letting your emotions interfere, without letting your mind play tricks on you, without letting your mind interfere. And then I want you to ask yourself, is what you are worrying about, is it valid? I want you to ask yourself, is it something you can control? Or is it something that's out of your control? I want you to think about the worst case scenario. I want you to think about the best case scenario. And then I want you to develop a plan that will make you less prone to becoming emotional about that issue. The second thing I want you to do, and this is with everything in life, I want you to accept it. Accept the fact, take ownership of the fact that you are worrying about something. You can say to yourself, oh man, I'm starting to worry, but I'm bigger than this worry. Oh, okay, I feel myself tightening up. I feel myself starting to worry about this. But it'll pass. It's a temporary inconvenience. I can accept all the things that's coming to my mind because I'm going to control the things that's coming to my mind. Accept that when you are worrying, accept that what you are worrying about could actually happen, but you've planned it, you've planned for it, you understand it's out of your control. Now you let it go. And then trust yourself that you're going to act in a way where you're not going to let this issue cause you to start to excessively worry about things. And the last step is to improve it. If you are unhappy with how things are going, you have to change. If you're unable to make changes on your own, this is where you can seek out a coach. I'm a holistic life coach. And what a coach does, a coach is not here. I'm not here to cure you. What I'm here for is to give you different strategies to help you solve the problem yourself. I'm also here to help you come up with an action plan on defeating excessive worry. And I'm also here to hold you accountable to your own word. I'm here to hold you accountable to your own word. I will help you find the right problem to solve. I will help you define the problem. I will help you analyze the problem. I will help you look for options. I will help you select the best choice. I will help you implement the change. And I will help you evaluate the process and help you learn from it. If you can't do it yourself and you need a coach, this is what you would get from that coach. So in closing, I'm telling you, things are going to happen. That's life. You're going to have legitimate things to worry about. Then you're going to have legitimate things not to worry about. But what you cannot do is get into a pattern of excessively worrying about everything that goes wrong in your life. You cannot drive yourself to that pit of depression. Because if you ever let yourself get in that pit of depression, it's hard to climb out of it. You're bigger, you're better than worry. You're more powerful than worry. You have to take your life back from worry. You can't let worry drive your blood pressure up. You can't let worry have your hair falling out. You can't let worry have you comfort eating until you're out of shape. You can't let worry zap your energy. You can't let worry not want you to get out of bed. You can't let worry make you not want to face life. You cannot let worry take control of your life. You have to take your life back from worry. Pray, meditate, build yourself up, strengthen yourself. You have to realize that what you're worried about today, a year from now, you won't even remember. There's always a chance that the thing that you're worried about will happen. And that has happened to all of us. It's been things people have been worried about, and it happened. And they still made it through. They still got over it. They still prospered. They're still successful. That's even more reason not to excessively worry about anything. When you heal your mind, when you heal your body, when you heal your soul, when you have a spiritual life, when you're taking care of yourself, when you're taking care of the entire person, when you're taking care of all aspects of you, and you have that spiritual connection, there's no need to worry. Absolutely no need at all. So in closing, and I hope that this was very beneficial for you today, is take your life back from worry. You control your mind. Don't let worry control your mind. Anything that comes your way, you're bigger than that problem. You will handle that problem and you will prosper. Think positive, don't think negative, and enjoy the positive manifestations that's going to come to your life. and then sit back, be happy, and be worry free. Again, this is Holistic Health with Paul Garwood. It's been a pleasure. I hope this last 30 minutes was very beneficial to you. I do my podcast radio show every Sunday. Sometimes it's recorded, sometimes it's live. Get the word out, subscribe, listen, and it's truly a pleasure bringing this information to you. Everyone have a good week. Take care. Be safe. Be strong. Be happy. Good night, everybody.